Hey, I'm Tyler with the Knocking Rod.
And I'm Neil, and we're here to talk about this 2026 Hyundai Palisade Calligraphy. It is, it's big and bad. So this is the all-new second generation Palisade. It's a little bit longer, 3 inches longer, overall 2.5 inches more in between the wheels. This is the regular gas-powered model, so it's got the 3.5 liter naturally aspirated V6. Hyundai does offer this in a hybrid, which is pretty cool. So
that's nice.
I think this one's rated for 21 miles combined in front-wheel drive configuration, whereas the hybrid's like maybe 34, so it's pretty significant.
That's excellent.
Palisade starts at around 41 with destination, but this is the Calligraphy. Ballpark like 56 to start, but loaded up with fancy features. Really the only features are the paint and all-wheel drive, but it's like pushing 60 grand, maybe $59,000. So it's not cheap, but it's pretty darn nice. And so, as Tyler was saying, it looks rad. I'd say you definitely get some Range Rover vibe going on there. It's got 21-inch wheels that look pretty sick. This is the Calligraphy, so it's got the whole monochromatic treatment on some of the lower models. This lower trim will be, in black, which is fine. It just looks a little different. This is kind of a more elegant vibe. Hyundai points to the fact that the coefficient of drag on this, I believe, is 0.31, one of the lowest in the segment. This front end treatment, like from a distance, it almost looks like a decal. It's so smooth, but it does.
Yeah, it does look like it's almost a sticker.
Right, as do the taillights, I feel like. But Hyundai, I think, is doing a knockout job with the headlight design, which sounds goofy to say, but this like sort of pixelated vibe, you see it on some of the Ioniqs and some of the newer products, but like the headlights are right here.
I love the front grille on this, right? It's like, follows the Genesis line a bit, where you've described it as imposing.
Yeah, it's got a lot of presence.
Presence is a good word for it.
Yeah, it's big and it's like, you can't miss it. I love the way that the white and the black contrast on this particular model. The name of this paint job is Creamy White Pearl. I think they've done a good job with it, the way they've kind of all configured it together. Something interesting about this car, Ty, is that there's the Hyundai logo right there on the front, nothing on the side, and then you come around back, and it's got the Hyundai logo and it says Palisade in big block letters. Nowhere does it say Calligraphy. So that's some sort of design choice, because even inside the car, like the steering wheel doesn't say Hyundai on it anywhere. In fact, the only place it says Calligraphy is on the headrest. Yeah. So I don't know if they're deliberately trying to kind of like mask that, but I thought that was interesting. I think it looks really good. And I like the clean vibe with a lack of sort of overdone emblems, but
I really like there's not an angle on this car that I don't like.
Yeah.
The 360 degree view is excellent. The side view, the front view.
Yeah.
It's just a really nicely designed SUV.
I've been driving it for about a week now. It's stacked with technology. We have some other content that we kind of went over this, but the Calligraphy is the most expensive model because it has features like Highway Driving Assist 2, so it will change lanes for you on the highway, which we've tested and it actually works pretty good. Yeah, technology and features. So getting in the car, you can see it's got nice leather seats. I believe it's actually Napa leather. It's rocking Hyundai's new, what we are calling the electric shaver shift lever. A little funny looking, but actually highly functional. This thing has panoramic moonroof, so you can open it up. It's got a shade on that end. This fully opens and slides out of the way. But as for technology and features, like Tyler was saying, there is a head-up display that's incredible. You've got this panoramic infotainment / instrument panel. I believe it's dual 12.3-inch screens. So fully digital gauge cluster, obviously fully digital infotainment center with a million features like dash cams, obviously CarPlay. You can get really wild in here, but it's really interesting. I would say also very fast, like the response on this is very fast. Other cool touches, we talked about, there's a sterilization chamber. You can put your phones and devices in here and it will sterilize them for you. The front seats are heated, cooled, massaging, and have a relaxation mode where they'll kick back into like full lazy boy mode. We've got the heated and cooled second row seats. We've got the heated third row seats. A pretty sweet Bose audio system. We didn't really record this, but I cranked it up the other day. Super crisp. I love music. A nice sort of suede-like, is it Alcantara? I don't know. I just like to rub my hand on it because it feels nice. Headliner.
Yeah, and the interior is really well designed too. Like ergonomically is really well done.
Really well laid out. There's a lot of room to spread out. We're both large people.
And I didn't feel like I was crowding you at all when I was sitting in there.
One thing I will say that I'm not sure about is this whole center console thing here. So the way this gigantic console kind of juts out and it can't be moved, it's kind of hard to if you got stuff down here, it's pretty hard to get to. I guess if you can't really see it, so that's not sure about that. That's not my favorite.
Feels like stuff would get lost down there.
Yeah, kind of disappear. But on the flip side, they've got a wireless charging pad, triple USB charging ports, UV sterilization, and then a cup holder. So
we talked about this, touched on this briefly, but they're 100 watt max charging ports.
Yeah.
So what exactly does that mean for somebody?
Faster charging time.
Okay.
Right? The more power you got there, the faster it'll charge. And it's got like a little lightning bolt, which no means fast charging, USB fast charging. This one is clearly I think this is like a multimedia one. You can charge it and transfer stuff.
Okay.
But if you look in the back, like all of them, I think, yeah, there's one right here, like in the seat, and there's the same one here. And then there's two in the for the third row as well. So the ambient lighting here, you can't see it right now, but like I do love like all the different textures and fabrics they've used.
They did a really nice job in here.
And so at night, this is backlit. There's like this light piping in here, and it kind of reflects off here. You also get it in these kind of door wells here, and it's nicer than just it's not just regular ambient lighting. It does look, very elegant. And I think Hyundai's done a pretty, impressive job for hitting that sort of luxury adjacent, kind of like Mazda's doing, right? And notably, it doesn't say Hyundai in here anywhere, not even on the steering wheel. It's kind of
that is a really fascinating touch.
Good luck finding a Hyundai logo in here. It does have calligraphy embossed in the headrest, which is kind of cool. And but outside of that, you might not know. Digital rear view mirror is a super cool feature. You can toggle between
this is really cool.
Traditional rear view mirror, and just a simple flip of the thing gives you a fully digital feed behind the car, which I love.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
And the image quality on it is outstanding.
Same with the dash cams. It's got dual dash cams, front and rear built in, tremendous quality. It's got the blind spot view monitor, where when you turn on the signal, it's giving you a live feed of what's on either side of you. Highway driving assist, we talked about that.
All right, so tell me some of the features about driving that you really liked.
One of the things that we are in the process of doing is figuring out how quiet it is at the highway or, around town. I thought while it's really smooth and easy to drive on the highway, it was a little bit loud, I thought. So I'm curious to see if it's genuinely a big difference. But around town, very quiet. The roads right now, especially going skiing up by Gunstock, like super uneven, potholed. It goes over the rougher roads nicely.
Yeah, it felt like the driving felt really smooth.
Really smooth, and there's no air suspension. It's just traditional multi-link rear, independent front, but just nice. It's comfortable around town. The steering to me is a little bit on the numb side, but it's a 7-passenger family vehicle. It's not a Miata. So I think for what it is, it's perfectly fine.
How did you find the highway driving assist and the automatic lane changing feature?
Tremendous. So I normally drive a 10-year-old Mazda with none of this. So getting into this, something like this Hyundai, is a little jarring from a technology perspective, but it's remarkably easy. You just click on adaptive cruise control, and then when you're ready to change lanes, you do it, and man, the thing will change lanes and drive you down the highway, around curves with your hands. You can't come off the wheel or it'll stop you, but just kind of hanging on. The point is, it's like helping you just ease the stress of keeping the car where it needs to be, and it does it really smoothly.
So who would you say this car's for? Like, is it for large families, small families? Who is this best positioned for?
Yeah, coming into this, I thought, this is the perfect family vehicle, and I think the Palisade on the whole is an excellent family vehicle, right? Tons of space, tows 5,000 pounds, you can get it in a hybrid. This one seats 1, 2, 3, 7, but you can get it with a bench to seat 8. All that said, I think this calligraphy model, which is really fantastic, it wouldn't be a great car for people with little kids. When my 3 kids were little, I probably would have struggled a little bit with like how slow the second row seats are to move. And frankly, I would have been a little like not so happy if this like nice perforated Napa leather got kind of, banged up, or the suede headliner got dinged up. And so I would say the calligraphy is really well suited for families with kids that are like high school and older. I took my neighbors to the airport this morning in this car. It's a great like chauffeur vehicle, right? The people in the back can kind of stretch out. There's lots of cool features. So I think if you have little kids and I was getting a Palisade, it'd be more like the one of the lower trim models. It's a little simpler. But for people with older kids, college, like going to college,
right,
kids would steal this from you for sure.
In the back, it feels really nice, like you said, like a chauffeur-esque vehicle.
We've commented on that, yeah.
It's incredible.
Tons of leg room, really comfortable. So, Man, I would love to own this car, but you know, I do think that it's maybe better suited for like a more mature family audience.
What are some of the features that you found maybe you didn't really gravitate towards, or you thought just like weren't that great?
Yeah, so they've been hard to find. I'm not like gunning for them, but a couple things that stood out to me. One, this kind of area is tough to access. So this whole center console is fixed. And then they've got this storage bin. You can see we've been in this for a week and it's already full of stuff. But you can't, like, I can't get in there. You know, there's not a good, whoops, I can't really see what I'm doing, you know? So I don't love that. I think this is maybe, you know, they went too far with it. And then one of the other things, just from the technology perspective, it's super tech heavy. It does a lot of cool stuff. For one thing, it's when you're getting going on it, it's a lot to take in. Like the head-up display shows a lot of stuff. The instrument panel has more stuff. Over here, there's this going on. And then if you do something that these advanced systems maybe doesn't like, for example, I was reversing out of my driveway. My daughter was sitting here. She hadn't shut the door all the way, but it was just barely, open. There was nothing showing up here. And then once I put it into drive in the street, it started beeping really loud. Like kind of you might expect you're about to crash into something, which is pretty like startling.
Yeah, it's
as you're now trying to go down the road, and then it's flashing door ajar. But it wasn't like wide open, right? It was just not fully closed. So I thought maybe that's a little aggressive on the notification, for some of this advanced stuff. But I also think that with more time, as you get used to it, you'd probably grow to love all that kind of like advanced help. And I'm impressed with it. And one more thing, we keep calling it the electric shaver shifter because it kind of has that look of like an old Braun.
It does.
Whatever,
Yeah.
It's got the engine stop button integrated right in, which is kind of handy. And this might seem a little goofy at first, but you get used to it pretty quick. You just twist this guy to put it into drive and reverse, and then you press in to put it into park. The only downside of that I've seen was in your 2026 Hyundai Santa Fe with the almost exact same setup. You can be driving and doing stuff and accidentally bump park while you're driving. Not ideal.
Not great. Not recommended.
No, not recommended. But outside of that, man, yeah, big fan of this Palisade Calligraphy. I would definitely rock one.
Well, we really appreciate you all watching the review on the 2026 Hyundai Palisade Calligraphy. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks.